The NBA is in flux right now, but what are LeBron James and his hopes of playing with his son? If you haven't heard by now, LeBron James knows he only has a few years left in the league, more than likely, especially with all the injuries that he's been having as of late. As such, he has made it clear that while he's giving it his all, he wants to be there when his son Bronny potentially enters the league, even being on the same team as him. A very noble thing to say and want, but can that actually happen? Number 5. The state of Bronny and LeBron. The talk of the town currently is the future of LeBron James and his son Bronny. With the Lakers having a disappointing season, to say the least, LeBron's future with the franchise is looking bleak. It is no surprise James wants to play with his son. He has talked about this dream of his many times. One of the biggest strengths of LeBron is his longevity, and he wants to take it to the next level. He wants to play with his son at the same time. In an interview, billionaire and Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban talked about drafting Bronny and potentially getting James. LeBron James is 37 and he is still bossing the league as if he is in his 20s. Although LeBron has not made any official announcement regarding his future, one thing is for sure. Wherever Bronny plays in the future, LeBron is going to follow suit. Many teams would be looking to get Bronny. Getting LeBron and Bronny in the same draft? Who could say no to that? Till now, the teams which are most likely to draft Bronny, according to reports, are the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Both teams have young talent that could use a shot in the arm to push them to the next level, which Bronny might just be able to do. LeBron has had one of the best careers in the NBA and he wishes to end it in style. During the All-Star Weekend, King James revealed his plans for the future. Talking to The Athletic, James mentioned, "My last year will be played with my son." Bronny currently plays for the Sierra Canyon School in California, and the earliest that he can play in the NBA would be the 2024-2025 season, which, if you're doing the math, means that LeBron has to last a few more years, and that's not exactly a guarantee given the recent injury-ridden seasons. But anything is possible, especially with free-thinking owners like Mark Cuban around. Number 4. What Cuban said. Enter the Dallas Mavericks. Talking in an interview, Dallas Mavericks owner and billionaire Mark Cuban talked about his plans to get Bronny. Cuban said, "It could be 3 years from now. It wouldn't suck, let's put it that way. It really was smart by LeBron." The host adds, "Someone's gonna probably draft him a little bit higher now because you get LeBron for his farewell season, or maybe 2 or 3 or 4. Although Cuban revealed that he hasn't thought about the prospect of getting Bronny and LeBron, he doesn't rule anything out for the future. While this may not seem like much, Cuban is honestly playing it smart here, not the least of which is that this is seasons away and some people still aren't sure how Bronny's skills will translate to the NBA, not unlike how they felt about LeBron even with his chosen one status. And given the wide swinging that the league has done in terms of who's on top and who's not over the past few seasons, Cuban's Mavericks might not even be in the running to go and get Bronny, and thus LeBron for an interesting run. But the fact that he's putting so much thought into it now means that he knows how quickly things can change in this league, and as a result, it's better to at least think about it than ignore the possibility at all. Number 3. How Bronny stacks up currently. Bronny James, who will turn 18 in October, is making the most of his final summer of AAU ball. Thanks to his savvy play and continued development, it is widely believed that he'll improve upon his current composite ranking as the 43rd best player in the class of 2023 per 247sports.com. As Bronny James' high school career nears its end, the noise surrounding the potential of him playing alongside his father, Lakers superstar LeBron James, is getting louder and louder. There is no better time than now to provide another reminder that LeBron has never been shy about his intentions to play alongside his son Bronny on an NBA floor. During IMDb TV's Top Class, which chronicled Bronny's Sierra Canyon High School team, LeBron is on record saying, "I want Bronny to get to the NBA. I want to be on the court with him. I think that would be an unbelievable moment." An unbelievable moment, to be sure, but is it one that's going to actually happen? It's not as far of a long shot as it may seem, but it still depends on a few things falling into place. Bronny, a 6'3" combo guard, is an elite prospect, but making it to the NBA is hard. With respect to two-way contracts, there are only 510 roster spots in the league. There's no one linear path for Bronny to take, but there are a few things to consider. That Bronny James is currently ranked between 40 and 50, according to both 24/7 Sports and ESPN, should not take away from the fact that he is an impressive basketball player. There are thousands of high school players in the nation, and James is considered to be better than over 99% of them. He is also showing out against elite competition this summer. Also, as we said, there are 510 roster spots in the NBA, and there are many who get sent to the G League first to firm up and then are called up to the NBA. So that might be another avenue for Bronny should things go a certain way. But for what it's worth, Malachi Branham was the 38th ranked recruit in the class of 2021 and was selected in the first round of the 2022 NBA draft. So take that as a reminder to not put too much stock into high school rankings. Number 2. The draft. Per the NBA's collective bargaining agreement, a player must be at least 19 years of age during the calendar year in which the draft is held, and at least 1 year should have elapsed since the player's graduation from high school. This one-and-done rule is obviously one of the more controversial aspects of sports because many young NBA prospects will enter the draft instead of finishing college in the hopes that they'll both earn themselves a long-term spot in the league and get themselves a lot of money in the process. It doesn't always work out that way, and we all know plenty of busts, just as we know plenty of success stories. It is a gamble, even with your father being LeBron James. In truth, his draft status is going to depend on how he plays in college, which may sound obvious, but it's anything but. College isn't always the ultimate proof of a player's skill. Plenty of busts did great in college but couldn't hack it in the league. Likewise, others who were big risks or reaches turned out to be some of the best players ever, like a Steph Curry who just won the NBA title, if you recall. So what Bronny ends up doing on whatever college team he plays for will affect the views that he gets. Number 1. State of LeBron. And the other factor here is the father. LeBron will be 40 ahead of the 2024-2025 season, which as it stands will be the earliest that Bronny is eligible to join the NBA. LeBron will become a free agent following the 2022-2023 season, and based on his knowledge and tendency to make calculated decisions, his free agency could be impacted by the big picture of playing with Bronny. Since drafting Bronny could be a pathway to signing LeBron, it is not far-fetched to think a team with a bevy of draft capital would do it. But as noted before, LeBron has been very injury-prone the last few years, and the only good season he had with the Lakers was in the bubble playoffs when he got a 6-month rest and then tackled the playoffs on fresh legs. Every other regular season has been mired with injuries. But it could be that he doesn't mind that possibility so long as he plays with his son. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at LeBron James and his son Bronny and where things are possibly headed with them? Do you think that there is a chance for these two to play together for at least 1 year? What deal do you think LeBron is going to have to make with whatever team to make that happen? And will Bronny benefit from it? Let us know in the comments below, and we will see you next time on the channel.